next level.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Coach Tiffany Parra with Fanatics Magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. We are taking center stage today on the Own It Publishing platform. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to bring this woman on in. Come on in, Terry J. Walker. This is my sister from another Mr. Miss Terry J. Oh my goodness. I am so excited to have you on the show once again, Terry. Terry is one of our contributing writers with Fanatics Magazine. She is also one of just my dearest friends. So Terry, welcome once again. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you so much, Tiff. I am so grateful to be here. I always love working with you. You know, it's the TNT special.
Yeah, explosive.
It's been Terry. Here we go.
It has just been amazing. So look, y'all, today we're going to just get right on into it. Today we're going to talk a little bit about that victim mindset. Okay, it comes up, it creeps in so many different areas. And I know we've all been there before, but we're going to talk about how to get yourself out of that and how to really just stand up and say, hey, you know what? I'm not a victim and I have all power to make sure that everything and anything happens in my life the way that I want it to. So let's talk about it, Terry, because we've all been there, right?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. And sometimes you find yourself slipping back in there a little bit every now and then. But it is a practice. But, you know, what is a victim mindset? I mean, do we even know how to identify it? You know, I've worked in addiction before, and the first step to recovery is what? What's the first step, Tiff?
Isn't it admitting it?
Admitting it. Right.
Admitting what's going on, right? Figuring it out, right?
We got to admit there's a problem. There's something going on.
You gotta admit something's wrong. Something is wrong.
Right.
Or else you can't fix it if you don't know something's wrong, right?
Yeah. So let's admit it. You know, I'm admitting it. I fall into that victim mindset from time to time, and I've been there, done that, and I've had to learn to crawl my way up out of it. How about you? You ever been there?
Oh my gosh, I've been there many a time. I've been there in work situations. I've been there in home situations, relationship situations. And it makes you're just stuck. I mean, you just stay stuck in the situation until you finally just own it and say that, hey, you know what? You are we're going to just say you're the artist of your own painting, and your painting is life, right?
Exactly.
And you have those brushes. You have that brush. Nobody else has that brush. That's your brush. You hold on to that brush.
Amen. I love it. You're the creator of your own reality. So what is it? What are you creating? Are you creating living in that victim mindset, or are you trying to move on over and admit that maybe I am living in some of that, and then get into that victor mindset, victory, or mindfulness thinking, or even we're going to talk a little bit too today about building resilience, but let's talk about the victim mindset. What does that entail? It's the why me attitude. Why is this always happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? And life is just so hard, and I don't have the resources. I can't do this. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not capable enough. And I fear what anybody else's opinion of me or anybody else's opinion of what I might be dreaming about, what they might think, that fear-based thinking. And that's the victim mindset, even in that lower energy vibrational level. And many of us get caught in that.
We do. We do. And it tends to, it sometimes is buried. Sometimes this is something that, it's because of something that someone has told you over and over again, and you've started to believe that, and then, that's that self-limiting belief, right?
Yes.
And then it's why me? Why me? Why am I going through this? Well, you're going through this over and over again because you're bringing yourself back to that negative situation over and over again. If you just continue, why me? Well, you know what? Why not me? Why
Ooh, there's a
not
new
me?
statement. Why not me?
Right?
What can I do to learn from this? How can I grow from this?
Right.
Instead of just staying in that same old low vibrational energy, why
Why
can we
not?
not admit, okay, something's going on? What am I doing to create this? Why
Yeah.
is this happening? What am I doing? What is my role in this to
Right.
create this? Maybe it's the people you're hanging out with.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's some toxicity going around.
Right.
Whatever it is that you may be doing, you're helping to create this, and it's coming back to you, whether it's through your thoughts, your mind, your words, your actions, whatever the case may be, because we all live in that limiting belief, or we can live in that limiting belief. But the greatest aspect of all this is there's always good news. We can move up out of it if we choose to do so.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about some of the ways that you can get yourself out of that victim state and that mindset of I'm not enough, right? Because that's usually what we get stuck in. So we'll be right back, everybody. And welcome back. That was Upscale Business Online Solutions. This is Tiffany Parra with Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine. And we have my buddy Terry J. Walker here. We are talking about just addressing that victim mindset. And, really right now we're going to talk about how to kind of get ourselves out of that rut when those self-limiting beliefs, those things that we've been told, or someone it's been implanted in our subconscious somehow, somewhere.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about how you can just how you can get that out of there and start to, we'll say, reprogram yourself so you can move forward in just that positive way. There's so many, isn't there, Terry?
There's a lot. There's a lot in all that. And, to even be able to accomplish this in 30 minutes, but it is so much fun to work with you. And, how can we move out of that victim mindset? I wrote in my book, The Resume of Life, when you're waiting on someone, sometime, something, or someday to make your life whole, happy, and complete, you're going to be waiting a very, very long time.
Right.
Because it all starts within. Everything starts within. And, I've been on shows with you in the past, and this is where it all begins. So what are your thoughts? What are your words? What are your actions? What are your emotions? So are we lining up with that? Because what are the things that we can control? Tiff, do you know what the things we can control are?
Look, we can control us. We can control how we react to life. That's what
Yes.
we can control. We can't control anything else. We can't control people. We can't control things. We can
No.
control us.
Yes. And so often we want to take those shortcuts, and believe me, I've tried them all. And none of them work. You know, the get rich quick schemes, try to climb the corporate ladder, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But we're waiting on someone, sometime, something, or someday that maybe we can get into to make our life whole, happy, and complete. But we're going
Right.
to be waiting a really long time until we begin to start from within. And even with what we talked about in the last segment or the first segment about the victim mindset, are we in that victim mindset? Are we
Right.
willing to admit that maybe we are in that victim mindset? And
Yeah.
even talk about those limiting beliefs. So ask yourself this question. What is my why? What drives me?
That's huge.
What is my passion or my purpose? Because everyone has unique skills and abilities.
Yep.
Everyone is here at this time, at this moment for a reason and
Mhm.
a purpose. But
Yes.
have you ever asked yourself, what is that?
Yeah. See,
Because
that's huge, Terry.
I love
Because
you.
I think when I asked myself that and I finally answered that is when I was able to really change the whole
Hmm.
trajectory of life.
Yeah.
And when you change, I mean, it can be a little uncomfortable, which is okay. But I think that's why a lot of people stay in that victim mindset because they don't want to be uncomfortable. But I started to drop certain friends. I even started shutting out certain family members because
Yeah.
I had to, because I had to just shut out all the chatter and the noise so I could really move into, tap into me and just, I started reading. I mean, I did a lot of just self discovery through the self help books, things like that,
Hmm.
and that really helped me to kind of figure it out. And as I started opening the mind, other people kind of came into my life, like
Yes.
more people that were fostering this way of thinking, and all those victims that were around me, or even the ones that maybe, I mean, there's family members and things we just can't get rid of. So, but I know how to deal with that and navigate with that better because, again, I can't change that, but I can change the way that I feel about that. And it's just magnificent.
Yes, absolutely. And and like your audience knows, I do corporate trainings, and I do this, I incorporate a lot of this into my corporate trainings of what is it that you can control. And you answered it. But I'm gonna nail it down and be just a little more specific. And that is we can control our thoughts, our words, our actions, and our emotions. In other words, our ways of being, thinking, and doing. How we respond to certain situations, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Those are the things we can control. We can't control what someone else thinks, what they think about us, or what they think about anything. We can't control what they say, how they feel, or what they do.
Yeah.
Even our own kids, and I do a lot of parenting training, but even our own kids, we can't control what they say, think, or do. We're not
Right.
with them 24/7. But
Mm-hmm.
even with that, the things we can control are ours. And so instead of being in that mindset, again, you have 6,000 thoughts plus a day. What are those thoughts? Are we consciously aware of them? Are
Mm.
they limiting that victimize of the things that we said in the first segment? What did I do? Deserve this? I'm not enough, whatever the case may be. Or are we changing that thought pattern? And I'm a big Wayne Dyer advocate. And when you
Me
change the way
too.
you look at things, the things you look at change. So, what are we thinking? What are we saying? What are we feeling? What are we doing? Are we willing to change the way we look at things? And instead of why me, as you said, change that to why not me?
Right.
What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? What is it that's driving me? Am I allowing other people to bring me down by my choice, because it's your choice to allow that to happen? Or am I putting myself in a group, a support group, whatever the case may be, of more like-minded people who can help me to learn new things about myself, to get back in touch with that? What is my passion? What drives me? Why am I here? I asked myself all those questions in the Resume of Life, my book. Why am I here? Because it's got to be more than just getting up, going to work, paying the bills, and paying taxes and dying. It's got to be.
Right.
And I was in that victim mindset. And that's how I learned to become and get out of it, because I knew there had to be more.
Right.
But you have to expand upon that. And I'm also now a limiting beliefs clearing practitioner. So if any of your people have a pen or a piece of paper, I'm going to give you a couple of steps about that. One, you want to identify the thought. What is that thought that is holding me back, that limiting belief? What is it? I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not educated enough. I don't have enough resources, whatever the case may be. Identify that thought and write it down. So you're going to localize and identify that thought and actually write it down. And then number 2, you ask yourself, who told me this? Or where did I hear it?
Right.
Who told me this? Or where did I hear it? You may have heard it when you were a child. You may have heard it last week, whatever the case may be. But you've allowed that to get into your mind and limit you.
Mm-hmm.
And we know about other people's opinions. But we do hear those things. And we may have heard it from a parent. We may have heard it from a caregiver. We may have heard it from a teacher. We may have heard it from anywhere. You're not smart. Whatever the case may be. And we've allowed that to continuously, subconsciously fill our thoughts and bring us down.
Right.
So if you're able to identify where you heard it, maybe what age you were, or whatever the case may be, and who told you that, then the third step would be to ask yourself, is it true? Is it true?
It's true.
Is whatever this is that I'm saying about myself, is it really true? And if you answer yes, that you think it's true because you heard it from someone else, then you need to delve a little deeper and start over again. What is that thought? Where did I hear it? And ask yourself, why is this true? What makes this true? And then in the last step, you would ask yourself, what would I prefer to believe? What would I prefer to believe? And start replacing that old limiting thought with something more positive and more powerful. So when that old thought comes back in your head, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, whatever the case may be, but you want to identify one at a time.
Yeah.
And then you begin to replace it with, what would I prefer to believe? Well, yes, I am successful in my own right. Well, yes, I am smart because I've accomplished this, and this. And start remembering those positive things about that. And we can break through some of those limiting beliefs with just that type of a practice.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so awesome, Tara. And, going through my own journey, I went through my whole weight loss journey. Yeah. And as I was going through that, everything just came crashing down during that, doctor's appointment, right? When they tell me, oh, you're going to, you could lose your life. I mean, things are happening. And I went, and as I started going through the journey, I started putting sticky notes all over the place. And I had a coach actually tell me, every time you go past the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, sexy, hey, hey, skinny, whatever that is that makes you feel good. If you want to get thin, then hey, you know what? Say that. Say that to yourself, and you tell yourself that, and look in your eyes. And I would do that, and I had sticky notes everywhere, and I would even take some of the different affirmations and say it in the mirror to myself. And at first it was hard. At first it was awkward. It was like that first time I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, hey, sexy. It's just like, and then after a while, it was like, man, as I'm going, how you doing?
You
It
do
was
it.
really
That's
like
right.
you could see that shift. And it was just amazing. I mean, it took a little bit of work though, because you
Yeah,
still do have those triggers and things like that. And
right.
maybe, you said, okay, I'm going to do this for 30 days and you happen to break it at 15, but you don't stop. You just start
Right.
over again and just keep
Right.
going until
Exactly.
it clicks, and yeah, it's
And
just
stop beating yourself up.
right.
Day 15, you don't accomplish what you hope to. But it's not the time to beat yourself up. The limiting beliefs, you've done it plenty. It's
Yeah.
That's already what you've been doing. So don't beat yourself up,
Oh,
but give yourself credit. Well, for the first 14 days, I'm
I
going
did
to give
great.
myself a pat on the back,
That's
and we're going
right.
to start fresh again tomorrow.
That's right.
Maybe
That's
I
right.
fell off the wagon, or whatever the case may be, of whatever it is that you're trying to overcome. And pull yourself up out of that victim mindset, because that is going to grab you and take you right back down quicker than you know. Well, I
Right.
knew I couldn't do this. I knew I was a failure. Why does this always happen to me?
Right. Yeah.
Or you can replace that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. You can replace that thought, even on day 14, day 35, whatever the case may be. You can replace that thought with something that you would prefer to believe that's more empowering about yourself. And even you mentioned too about having the affirmations or the statements or whatever, going and looking in the mirror. And I even wrote about that some in my book, The Resume of Life. But even going and looking in the mirror, Tiffany, there's a lot of people that aren't there that won't look in the mirror. They
Yeah.
don't want to look at the mirror because they don't want to see what's looking back at them.
Right. Yeah.
And their energy's very low. They're ashamed of whatever. We worry about our gray hair, we worry about our wrinkles, we worry about our acne, we worry about the lines,
Everything.
whatever the case may be, our
Right.
weight, our body, whatever the case may be. But the
Mhm.
absolute truth of this is, Tiff, you are beautiful.
Yeah.
You
Mm.
are here for a reason and a purpose.
Right.
And if there's something that you don't care for about yourself, don't beat yourself up for it.
Right.
Replace it for something you prefer to believe. And
Absolutely.
start embracing that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that. I love that. Well, we're going to cut to just another quick commercial and then we're going to come back. Let's talk about some gratitude, gratitude for the journey because, again, that victim mindset, I think in order to get over it, you do definitely have to be grateful. So we will
My
be
favorite
right
topic.
back, everybody. I tell you, I'm back here dancing in my seat. I just love that MUPO Entertainment commercial. We are back. This is Coach Tiffany Parra with Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine, and we have Terry J. Walker in the house. We are talking about the victim mindset and, just kind of how to get out of that as well. And so we're going to get into just gratitude. As you're going through the journey, we both have really learned, right, Tara, that it takes a lot of gratitude for your journey because it's not your own journey. This is a journey that you're going to be sharing and you have to share it with the world because there's other people out there that are dealing with some of the same stuff. And you have to be that champion to just be able to come out and just help others as well. So let's talk about just gratitude for the journey and just gratitude for yourself as well.
Gratitude is one of the highest energy levels only second to unconditional love, which is something that we all really could strive for. But we place conditions on so many things. But that's the next highest energy level that there is. And there's always, always, always something we can find to be grateful for. That is absolutely, it actually, even scientifically proven, it helps to enhance your immunity. It strengthens your inner world, and in turn, it helps you to strengthen your inner world, but not only that, but help others to strengthen theirs. I'm a big believer that we can all improve our energy and let our light shine, improve our vibration, and gratitude is one of the main keys that we can use to do that. Find something to be grateful for. Even when you're going in that mirror and you're looking at whatever it is that you don't like about yourself, can you possibly begin to shift that and find a way to be grateful for it?
Yeah.
To learn from it and to make the changes necessary that you feel you'd like to make.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's like you have to think when you're looking in the mirror. I just want to go back to that because it just came to me. You may be looking at a full body, and there might be someone else out there that is an amputee, or I mean, there's so many different things. I mean, they could be a burn victim,
Yes.
anything. So, and I know that I have a friend that is a burn victim, and she is so grateful to just have that body
Yes.
because she could not be here. She survived. So you have to be grateful for all of it, being grateful to be able to look at yourself in the mirror
Yes.
with those two eyes, right?
Yeah.
There's so many things to be
I
grateful
mean,
for.
there's so much that we can and can find to be grateful for. And so many people are like, well, anything that can go wrong will, has, and does. And they're back in that victim mindset. And we always remember the things that didn't go right, even from our day.
Yeah.
And we dwell in that. And what are we doing? We're just poisoning our body by building that stress. But also, if we could just take the time to put that aside and find out what did go right that day.
Right.
The leaves are changing. I was able to breathe today. I opened my eyes. I was able to get up and go to work and earn my paycheck for the day. I was
Mhm.
able to have a bed to sleep in. I was
Right.
able to be warm if I had a coat. I mean, whatever the case may be, grateful for your fur babies, grateful for
Mhm.
your family, whatever the case may be, begin to identify. I always like to turn it and say, count your blessings.
Yes.
Find those things that did go right. Find those things to be grateful for. And even with that limiting belief practice I mentioned, you
Yeah.
can turn that around and use that to find the things to be grateful for each and every day. Count your
Yeah.
blessings at night before you go to bed. What am
Yeah.
I grateful for? What did go right today?
Right.
Versus living in everything that stressed you out or everything that went wrong today.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And be kind to yourself. I mean, I think that's the big thing too, that when you're stuck in that mindset, you're just not kind. When you're stuck in that mindset, that's when you're putting bad things in your body, right? You're drinking more because you want to mask certain
Yes.
emotions and things like that, and you're just making it worse. So,
Yes.
you have to be kind to yourself and be kind to others as well. I mean, because you never know what other people are going through. So
No.
they could be
You
going
know.
through the same thing,
Yeah.
right? So,
Find things and people and ways to be grateful. Go out and enjoy nature. And I know you're a nature buff. I am
I
too.
am. I
But,
love nature.
sometimes just going out, looking at the stars and the moon or the sky and the sun, and just holding your arms up and just allowing yourself to absorb it in and just be grateful for that
Yeah.
moment. Those are things that
Absolutely.
we can all do. And
Yeah.
it's another thing, free of charge.
Free. Okay. Like we giving you all the freebies.
We
Okay.
do.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh my goodness. Well, Tara, do you have any words of wisdom, words of encouragement that you'd like to give our audience?
Well, gratitude is one of my all-time favorite topics, and I could spend hours and hours actually talking about it, and I do a lot of trainings on it. But I used to tell, people around me, the kids I even work for in mental health and things like that, because they were all in that victim mindset and blaming and everything else. But I was like, if you're not grateful for what you have, what makes you think you deserve more? And even when we're going through tough times or maybe through grief and loss, one of the things that I learned was by knowing the power of gratitude, and again, it's one of the highest vibrational energies you can have, is that if I could somehow keep my gratitude higher than my stressors each and every day, I would win and I would become even more resilient. And in fact, that's what transpired. I'm going to have a talk with you one of these days on resilience.
Yes, yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This has just been amazing, Terry. Thank you so much for joining us today. And again, thank you so much for being a part of the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine family. If you please, before we go, please share anything that you've got going on right now, anything that they could be looking forward to. I know you've got the Bridging the Gap training as well. So if you want to share a little bit about that before we take off today.
You can find out more. I have Bridging the Gap training, which is a full downloadable course that you can watch at your leisure. It's about positive mindset. It's also about understanding bullying, abuse, the emotional guidance system, building and promoting positive self-esteem, just to name a few of the modules that are in it. And it is available through IamTerryJWalker.com. And you can also go to bridgingthegaptraining.com, but you can also find it on the Bridging the Gap training page at IamTerryJWalker.com.
Awesome. Everybody, you all can also see Terry on MUPO TV. She has a show called the I Am Power Hour. So definitely check that out. Download MUPO TV on your Android or iOS device, and you can check her out. So Terry, I love you so much, and I am so grateful to you. So thank you so much for being a part of my life, for being one of my sisters, and just sharing this amazing life with me and this journey. So I love you. I love everyone out there as well. And we will definitely see you guys next time. Take care. See you.